Hi everyone, my name is Dion Schuddeboom, and today we're going to be looking at what may just be my new favorite keyboard. This is the MX Keys Mini from Logitech. A portable keyboard that is backlit with a super comfortable type, has multi-device support, and much more, all of which I will cover today. First things first, let's start off with the unboxing. So the MX Keys Mini is essentially the smaller brother to the MX Keys, which has a number pad. The MX Keys Mini comes in two colors, both graphite and the gray version that I have here. Opening the box reveals the MX Keys Mini wrapped in this paper wrapping, which is always better to see instead of plastic. Inside we have a warranty card and the keyboard itself. Holding the keyboard, the first thing that stood out to me was its weight. It feels sturdy and definitely has some heft for its size. Also included in this paper box are the USB-C cable. As always, it is great to see USB-C. And lastly, we get a quick start guide. Alright, let's take a closer look at this keyboard. When you hear the name Mini, you might think that this is a small keyboard, and while it is portable, this is not the case. In fact, this is a full-size keyboard just without the external number pad. Now, what this will also mean is that the keyboard will actually take up less space on your desk, and this is something that I personally prefer. Holding the keyboard in the hand, it feels very sturdy. Coming in at 500 grams, there is virtually no flex in the keyboard. And then looking more closely at the color of the keyboard, you can see it features this gray metal looking frame, along with some off-white, lighter grayish keys that I think pair quite well. Now, considering the weight of the keyboard, I did actually expect this frame to be made out of metal. However, much like the rest of the keyboard, this too is plastic. Although, rest assured, it definitely feels very solid and well put together. And overall, I must say, I quite like this minimalistic and clean design that it has. Will make it easy to pair it with any desk setup. Looking at the back of the keyboard, we have the USB-C port, which is used for charging. Now, if you use the keyboard with the backlight, you should get around 10 days of battery life. Whereas if you choose to keep the backlight off, you can get up to 5 months of use. On the bottom of the keyboard, we get these 5 rubber feet. And these will give the keyboard some grip when it is on the table and will effectively keep it from sliding around. Now, looking at the profile view of the keyboard, you can see that it is slightly angled, similarly to say a MacBook Pro. Now, while the angle is not adjustable, I do think that Logitech have struck a good balance between having a keyboard that is completely flat and one that is too angled. I find this angle to give a pretty comfortable typing experience. On the top of the keyboard, we have a small Logi logo. You guys know I always appreciate minimal branding. And then on the far right, we have a green LED to indicate power. Now, beneath that, we have the row of function keys, and this keyboard has some pretty interesting keys. Going from left to right, first we have the multi-device support buttons. Now, this keyboard will allow you to easily connect via Bluetooth to up to 3 devices, and you can quickly switch between them with a press of a button. Next to that are the brightness controls for the backlight, but more on backlight in a sec. And then we have the Dictation key as well as the Emoji button. And then on the right of that, we have a screenshot button. And then we have a mute button. Considering how many Zoom calls we all do these days, I think this is also useful to have. And then next to that, we have the standard media and volume controls, and finally a do not disturb button on the far right. I think these function keys are very well thought out and genuinely useful to have. And what is even better is that you do have the option to customize these in the excellent Logi Options app, both for Mac and PC. This app will look familiar if you've seen my recent MX Master 3 review. Now this, I think, is an excellent mouse, not just for its ergonomics, but also its customizability. And I think also pairs perfectly with the Logitech MX Keys Mini. This is actually the setup that I use day to day. Looking more closely at the keys, you can see that all of the letter and number keys have this slight circular indent, and this is to match the shape of your finger as you press the key. Now, at first I was unsure about how much impact this would have on the typing experience. Though thankfully, this made minimal difference to me and didn't really take any time to get used to. In fact, now that I've been typing on this keyboard for just over a week, I quite enjoy it. Now, what is always important to me is the stability of the key. So for example, if I were to press the key in the corner, does the key tilt towards that corner or does it go down evenly? Now I'm pleased to say that on the MX Keys Mini, the keys are very stable. If I press the key from a corner, the entire key will go down evenly and go down flat. Additionally, the keys are well grounded, meaning that if I were to rub my hands over the keyboard, the keys don't jiggle and instead stay firmly into place. Now this all comes together to create a very comfortable and solid feeling typing experience. As someone who uses and prefers Apple keyboards, to me, the level of key travel on the MX Keys Mini is actually perfect. It has more key travel than say Apple's Butterfly keyboard, but is very similar compared to their standalone Magic keyboard. Although between the two, I would say the MX Keys Mini has slightly more key travel. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a more thorough, in-depth comparison between the MX Keys Mini and Apple's standalone Magic keyboard. All in all, I would say the typing experience on the MX Keys Mini is very comfortable and pleasant. Both good for a quick burst of typing a line or two, as well as a longer typing session, typing paragraphs and pages at a time. I would say if you like Apple's more recent keyboards and generally prefer keyboards with a lower profile, then the MX Keys Mini will be a great keyboard. Not to mention that the keyboard has a little bit more key travel than Apple's Magic keyboard, and the keys actually have a little bit more resistance to them as well when pressing. And then since this is the Mac specific keyboard, we also get Mac specific function keys. So you have your command, option, and control keys as well. Now overall, like I said, I am very happy with the layout of this keyboard. If there was one little thing I would change, however, it is the LED found on the caps lock button. Now instead of lighting up in green like you'd be used to say on a MacBook, it actually lights up in white. Now when the keyboard backlight is on, I find it quite difficult to tell whether the caps lock is on or not without first typing and then seeing I'm typing in all caps. Now I want to talk about my favorite feature of this keyboard, and that is the fact that it is backlit. Now this is something that I've always missed on Apple's external keyboards, as I love having this feature so much on my MacBooks. Now the backlight is not RGB, instead is just white. Now for me this is fine, as chances are I would always keep the color in white anyway to best match my MacBook. The keyboard also uses proximity sensors to detect your hands, illuminating the keyboard the moment your fingers touch the keyboard. The backlight also turns off when you walk away to save battery. Out of the box, the brightness is adjusted automatically. However, if you want via the function keys on the top row here, you can also change this manually. I found the brightness to get bright enough to meet any situation where say you'd reasonably need the backlight. At the same time, it also gets dim enough to use say late at night without being too bright. Coming in at $99, if you're looking for a well-designed external keyboard that has it all, from backlight to a comfortable type to multi-device support and macOS specific keys, just to name a few, then the MX Keys Mini is an excellent choice. Also, I think even if you already have Apple's Magic keyboard, the fact that this keyboard is backlit, this feature on its own may be enough reason to upgrade. As always, I will leave all the purchase links in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.